What's going on, folks? D Great X here. Coming at you with a build guide of sorts from the Lightning Spear Sorc. All right, so I've been asked to kind of like show my build and show how this build is played, and I'm gonna do this in parts. Let's go ahead and get started here. How to play the build. So basically, right now I am on my Lightning Spear Sorc. Um, and I'm in the armory here. And what I'm gonna do here, just gonna showcase what I like, how I play it, how others may play it as well, and go over the key concepts on what is very much needed, the gear, stats, affixes, all that good stuff. So first and foremost, what you want to do here, and I'm playing on a PlayStation, so I don't have like an arrow that I can show anyone. So I'm gonna try to do this like as best as I possibly can. All right, so first off, what is doing the damage in lightning spears? All right, so obviously the lightning spears are doing the damage. However, the main thing that's doing the damage is this aspect here. On the critical hits with lightning spear cause lightning to arc from it during X amount of, amount of damage up to 5 other enemies. Now the key thing about this is the fact that it says this damage is increased by your critical strike damage bonus. Now that's going to be very, very important when it comes to this. So you need to have, basically you need to have a lot of that, and then you also need to have a lot of cooldown as well, so that you can keep pumping out the lightning spears. All right, so and I have, I'm gonna go over how much cooldown you will ideally want to have, and where the cooldown is coming from, all that jazz. All right, so the first thing that you want to do, very first and foremost, what you want to do here is grab yourself a winter glass, the fractured winter glass. This can drop from a Zir. Either you can do like a regular Zir or just tormented. You want to do a tormented because you have like a better chance of getting like multiple ones. Um, why you want this piece is pretty critical. It's pretty important here. Um, One of the main things it says here is casting frozen orb, cast random conjurations. All right, and which is one of the things that she's going to cast is lightning spear, and so when frozen orb explodes, it's going to cast that. So as you can see here, um, I'm just gonna throw out one frozen orb or maybe two. There's a chance that pop out twice. So I'm just gonna throw that out. So I threw that out. Now the concentration that it spawned was the ice blades. All right, and so I'm gonna do it again here. All right, so there was no chance there. Let's just do a lot of them. All right, so now we got lightning spears that came out. Also got hydras. So these are the conjurations that you're gonna get coming out. Now, again, when it explodes, that's one of the key things there. Um, because when it explodes, the concentration cooldowns are actually reduced. So what you want to do here is I'm gonna take the winter glass off here. Just gonna do that real quick. So I'm just gonna cast lightning spear, or just or actually no wait, let me just cast the frozen orbs here. See, nothing happens. There's no conjurations, and I'm also out of mana. And I'm just gonna cast a conjuration here.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm casting lightning spear. Two of them came out because of what I have here as one of my tempers, but we'll get into that a little bit later as well. So as I said here, I'm casting lightning spear. Nothing is happening. I can't cast more than that, but you'll see why in a second here. Now let's go ahead and put the winter glass back on. Now I should be able to cast lightning spear,
I need time to
and as that cast, something else is going to happen. There's more. There's a frozen orb that's coming out. There's more frozen orb, more lightning spears, and look at the cooldown on my lightning spear. Look at that. It's like barely existent here. Now you really notice that, especially like in the hordes, when you have like multiple dummies or multiple enemies. So let's just go and showcase that real quick here. And look at all of that happening. And then there's the lightning spears is like barely, and I'm gaining so many stacks too. I'm getting like 30s and 40s and whatnot. It gets up to 50, but it won't get a little bit past that because I'm going to show you why it won't get past that in a little bit here.
Are
So
you
yeah,
ready
you
yet?
could get to like 40s and it's just a steady stream of like damage. It's so good. Now I can further this a little bit by activating my ice
Are you
armor
ready yet?
or even the unstable currents to give myself a little bit more attack speed. Ice armor gives myself just a little bit more um more mana
Are you
regen,
not
but
ready yet?
that's if I need to spam it. But I'm not really doing that right now. But yeah, so anyways, there's another thing with this is the third affix that you see there where it says concentration cooldowns are reduced by 0.6 seconds when a frozen orb explodes. Now, every time a frozen orb explodes, that's another key thing that's what's resetting my lightning spears. And so the more you have lightning spears pumping out, the more damage it's going to be doing. And the more damage you're doing, like the crit damage and the crits, the more you're going to have pumping out. And it's like a cycle that's happening. So you spam. This just helps out with with the glyph that's in my Paragon. No, we're gonna get into that. So you got the frozen ones that's coming out, right? And it's gonna pump out lightning spears. Lightning spears may pump out frozen orbs just like that, and it's just like a vicious cycle, right? And that's how you keep your damage going. Now, that's basically like the most important aspect of this build. Now, there's two other things that you really need with this build as well. You need a set of Isus. This can drop from Varshan, so you could do Varshan for for this and also for your Tau Rashas. The Taus. Now, for these are very important because I don't have like that big of a role like as far as like my the bottom number is concerned. But I mean it's good enough, it's all right. I'm able to do like really high content with this. But the what these do, it gives you crit chance um for every time like you dash, it just give you like like some crit chance there. Let's see here. This because right now it says my current bonus is 15.5. Let me see if I can switch it fast enough. Yeah, now it says 33%, giving me like, that 33% that says there. It, I would love it to be 40, but I'm still looking for like a pretty good pair. Um, so I'll go over the master workings here very, shortly as well to let you know what key things that you want to master work as far as your fixes go. And also, as you notice, I'm not wearing my Tau Rashas because I feel that since I have the this crest here, or what people call the Shako, since I have this, I don't need to have this per se. This is still pretty good because you still get like a lot of cooldown, and you have the damage stats, the multiplicative damage that's going on there. But I feel that when you have like two legendary rings and one of them having the ice blaze, chance to apply vulnerable, this is a little bit more damage, per se, because what's happening is that when you activate storm, like the ice armor, oh god, so you activate ice armor, right? And it's double dipping with storm swell. Right? It's giving you like a double dip there. So Storm Swell, what that says, you deal X amount of damage to vulnerable enemies. Well, why not double down on that by having this, Ice Blaze chance to apply vulnerable, so that you can always have like vulnerable enemies, and then I gain another 30% multiplicative vulnerable damage. So it's pretty good. So let's see here. So there's that. We got the tile roster. So like I said, tiles is pretty good. I mean, you can still run tiles. I mean, it's fine. Also, with these rings here, I'm gonna go into what again, I'll go into the affixes of everything, very shortly, and we'll go into that. If you don't have any mythics, and there's a reason why I have these down here. So if you don't have any mythics, right? So you don't have any, like don't have this, or you don't have the Tyro's Might, well, you can opt for. You want to make sure that you have like a chess piece, just like this. I mean, don't have to have like the the legendary aspect on it. You know, the elite thing, you can have something else on there. But you want to have one that's like that has the max life, mana per second, and either intelligence or maybe armor, to like satisfy the armor cap. Um, but you want to make sure that you have like the max, the mana per second on there. So that will give you that, and then you can put, let's see, the helmet as well. Max life, mana per second, and cooldown. Those three things you got to have those three things. Those have to be on there. And you can also, as far as your aspects, your legendary aspects go, you can have it. This one right here, which since you're already spawning conjurations, you can have it so where you are dealt less damage per conjuration that's out. Um, if you don't have Cabalt's Will, which also drops in for like Duriel, or even what's the other one? Duriel. What this does, every time you become unstoppable, this gives you 20% more increased damage, and also 5 seconds after that. So which is pretty good. It's multiplicative as well. Um, and so like I said, if you don't have Tabals, you can still opt for another defensive piece, pair pants. So int max life, either dodge chance or even like armor. Depends on what your armor cap looks like. And then you can also have on here these this aspect, which is damaging an enemy has up to 20% chance to daze them for 2 seconds, and you deal 20% multiplicative increased damage to daze enemies. So still, pretty good there. You can opt for that, or you can have something called the aspect of the Herald of Orange or Orange Herald or something like that. What that does is every time you are, it just basically reduces your unstable currents that cooldown. So which is quite nice, pretty good. So let's go ahead and put that back on, and let's put that back on. Very cool. Oh yeah, it looks like because I don't have this. The Shaco is giving me this, and it's also giving me the what is it? Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and put that on there. Wow, crazy, crazy. All right, so there's that, and then I had the was an orb. All right, all right. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over the build, and I'm going to like once I go over the build, we can also go through the Paragon, and I'll let you know everything that we need to know as far as how this build is ran. I do have another video that's up showing like showcasing a T8 horde, and it just basically shows like everything as far as like how the build is ran. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it here. Now, let's first look at the build itself. Now, you want to, this is basically kind of like recommended. You want to get a Shaco. You want that because one, you want to have the cooldown reduction on it. If you don't have the greater affix on it, as far as the cooldown is concerned, just try to make sure that you get at least 2 hits on it, and then you get the third hit could be like max life or something like that. But this build is really really tanky. Like it's quite tanky, mainly due to Tyrion's might. But yeah, but this one I have the cooldown reduction, I have the GA on it, so and I hit it 3 times, so which is good. Next, to Tyrion's might. Tyrion's might, you want to at least hit damage reduction twice, and then you can have the other one on movement speed because again, the movement speed is gonna this will proc your movement speed bonuses. Um, but I didn't hit movement speed. I just hit max resistance to all elements, which is also pretty good because my resistances are 82.7 instead of it being like the 70%. So it's pretty good. Next, I have the gloves here. So the gloves, I have the attack crit crit. Now, attack speed is kind of like mandatory in this build as well because it allows you to spam your lightning
I need
spears
time to
as
prepare.
many quite fast, and you want to do that. And so the attack speed and plus the cooldown will allow you to spam it just like this, as fast like this. Look at that,
I need
spam it,
time to
spam
prepare.
spam it. It's good. 40s. You know, that's good. That's really, really good there. All right. So you want that. And now on your between your gloves and your rings, you want to have at least one of the attack speed as GA, and I have that. I'm also looking for the attack speed on here, but I'm still pretty good. Um, and so the effects, for that again, attack speed, crit, crit. I'll go over the tempering here after that as well. Then we have Tabal's Will. Again, Tabal's Will. This gives you multiplicative damage every time you're unstoppable, and this will kind of like this will just amp your damage a little bit. It's its own type of damage bucket, so it's pretty good there. And then as far as the master workings, you want to at least hit it, once, maybe twice on damage reduction, and then again on all stats maybe. But I hit it twice on max life because max life is still pretty good. So I much rather have had all stats. I may re-roll this again. I may not. It's all good. Next, we got the Isus. Now, Isus, this you have to have it have triple credit on the crit strike damage. All right, and if you can find one that doesn't have, I mean, that has the GA on it on the crit strike, that's great. But if not, just make sure that you have it master works at least like 3 times, well at least twice on crit strike damage, and you can do it like once on the movement speed again to give you that the movement speed bonuses there. The weapon will be a staff because the light again the aspect of lightning spear is too good. You cannot put this. You'll be losing so much damage if you have it on a one-handed weapon, and then like have something else on like a focus. But this two-handed, you gotta have it on this. And I have like the maximum one, so the maximum roll of this is you cannot. I cannot this gives you your power. This is it. All right. You want max. You want intelligence, max life, and crit strike damage. Preferably, you want all of that to be GA. Um, and one key thing here that I want to mention is that the like four and one, two, three, five down, you see where it says chance for a second lightning spear to spawn when cast. Well, mine is at 100.3%. You want that close to 100% as possible. And on your base, I had mine at 59%, and I was able to like hit it once to get me to that 100%. Um, and that's the minimum that you want, 59%, so that you can hit it once to get to like 100%. The other thing that I wanted to hit on here was the crit strike damage again, and you don't want to hit the affix crit strike damage. You want to hit the tempering one because that's the one that's like the higher value. I tried to hit it. Man, I spent oh god, so many tempering materials on this. It's not even funny. So I just like said, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it on intelligence. It's fine. Um, the rings. Oh, important here. Important. Since I'm not running tiles for that, the cooldown here, I wanted to make sure that whenever I did my masterworking, I can hit lightning spirit at least twice. So that's what I did. I got lucky with these two because it didn't take me that much material to do this. But I was able to hit um, basically what I needed to hit. I hit the lightning spear twice and the crit strike damage once, and that's exactly what I wanted to hit. Both of those. I forgot to tell you on this one, this crit strike chance. I hit this twice because I wanted to make sure that my crit strike chance is around 80% or more. Whenever I get my buffs going, so that I can hit that 100% cap there. And then we all know about the winter glass here. All right. Let's go over the temperings here. Now, again, here you want to create. So here, the gloves and the weapon, you want crit strike chain, like the crit strike damage everywhere. Try to get it as high as possible for all of it. You will break. You will break some. It's gonna break sometimes. Some of your stuff is gonna break if you don't. It's just going to. I've I've had so many things break. I could build a small town. It's crazy. Right. But yeah, the temperings, again, for this one I have crit strike damage and also chance to freeze. This one here, you want obviously the crit strike damages on there. We also want chance for a second lightning spear when cast. again, every time I cast one, um, not one is going to come out. It's always going to be two of them that comes out, always. And now it just splits to three. So it's always going to happen like that. Here I have Lightning Spirit cooldown. Got to have that, and also crit strike damage. And again, Lightning Spirit cooldown, crit strike damage. All right, and yeah, there is that. Oh, I could go over this as well. So again, my resistances are over cap. Well, not over, over the 70% threshold. So this is almost max cap, which is 85%. Then I have the crit strike damage. Mine's sitting at like 2300, which is still pretty good. And again, my crit strike chance is 61%. Now, once I drink my elixir and start dashing and get my buffs up, it'll go up to 100%. It'll be up there. And then what else? My cooldowns. Let's go to cooldown. Now, all right. So my cooldown reduction is 54%. Now, this is just my base cooldown reduction. This is coming from my Shaco. And now, but the real deal is basically it's coming, you want it for your
Time to prepare for
for your
battle.
lightning spears. I'm gonna show you what my cooldown reduction will be if I just put this on here. Let's see which one do I not just really matter at this point. Yeah, let's change this out. Now my cooldown reduction should be a lot higher than 54%. And we have let's just damage reduction. Yeah, 63.9. So and that's coming from the top rosters. 75% is the max, it's the maximum cap, but you really don't really need that much. I mean, cooldown reduction on this build is really, really important. Again, just as long as you have that 54% on the Shaco, you're sitting pretty. So you'll be fine. All right, let's go into the skill tree here. Now, I have, let's see here. I got the two on um, Firebolt. All of these are getting like the +4 to skills because of Shaco. So just want to throw that out there. But the two into Firebolt, so I can get into this node here, the core here. Um, And then I have some in Chain Lightning. What this does is this gives me the chance to form a crackling energy. Now, the crackling energy is very important for the Paragon, for the glyph that we're going to go over here a little bit later because it gives you 15% more multiplicative damage. So there's that. So that's the reason why this is here. I don't need anything else from here. I just wanted to make sure I, get points put in here so that I can get down to this node here. The reason why I have points into the charge bolts is so that I could go down here and then go to destructive charge bolts, which gives me damage reduction, 25% damage reduction. That's always good to be doing. And again, this build is tanky, so once you hit that unstable currents, it's gonna proc all of my shock skills, and everything's just gonna start flying out. Again, it's 25% free damage reduction. So good. Next, I have one into Flame Shield. The reason why, again, there's the Flame Shield there, and it's again for the Shaco. And I don't have any points in there, but this just coming from the Shaco. Then of course I gotta take Teleport into Shimmering, well, enhancing it into Shimmering. Again, 30% damage reduction. It's very, very good. Glass Cannon for some free damage. You don't really need this, the Elemental Attunement, to reset anything here because all your cooldowns are coming back so fast, anyways. So I mean, it's fine. Then of course you have Ice Armor into Enhanced Ice Armor and into Mystical Ice. Now the reason why I don't take this again, my Ice Armor is resetting really fast, so I don't really need to take this one. So I take this one so that I have the chance for my enemies to become frozen. All right, and so there's that. Next, here we're taking all of our defensives. So this is the or the the barriers. We're gonna make sure that we max out the mana shield and the protection. Mana shield, maybe not so much because you're not really gonna be using too much mana, but on the chance that you do need to use the mana, like when all your cooldowns are coming back up, you can spam that and then this procs. This will also always proc because you're always using like a cooldown, such as like your your lightning spear. So that's a cooldown. You're always gonna have have the barrier for that. Next, you have Ice Blades. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. This is our first enchantment slot because we're applying burning everywhere. This gives us like damage reduction in the Paragon nodes and also damage to burning enemies. So it's free damage and also free damage reduction. Really, really good. And this will be our second slot. The Ice Blaze, we're going to go for Enhanced Ice Blaze and then Summon Ice Blaze. Now, Summon Ice Blaze, this is what's also procking the cooldowns because 20% of Enhanced Ice Blaze cooldown reduction is applied to my other skills. So, other skills like all of my cooldowns. So, this further enhances the cooldowns for my Lightning Spears and also for my Flame Shield, for my ice armor for just everything that has a cooldown associated with it. So again, lightning spirit, we're taking enhanced lightning spirit, and we are going invoked. Invoke basically just gives us like makes our enemy stunned. Gives us like another crowd control, another CC there. Um, One thing about Lightning Spear, I only have 1 point in here. Obviously, you see five because of the Shaco, but I only put 1 point in here because that's all you need. The damage is not really coming from Lightning Spears itself. It's coming from the critical strike damage that the Lightning Spears, like produce. And once that's another thing. Like the higher your crit chance, the more you are going to, the more chance you're going to critical strike. I mean, do the crit damage. And again, that crit damage is scaling off the aspect of splintering. So it's scaling it. And the higher the crit damage, the more damage you're actually going to be doing. So it's pretty good. I have the three inside of precision magic as well. So the more lucky hit I have, the more it's going to proc this here. So this has the when you look at the bottom there where it says lucky hit, your conjurations have up to you have so much, like a number chance to launch a frozen orb. That is being procced. So we definitely want that happening there, like as much as possible. I need to get a new winter glass in a way so that I can have like this as max as possible. Because I wanted to get 65 and 90, so that'd be really, really nice. All right, so let's go back to the skill tree here. Right. All right. Conjuration Mastery. What this does, this is responsible for our stacks. And the stacks that we have, it is um, like whenever we're spamming our, the lightning spears or just any type of conjurations, you'll see this on this green bar, this little green notification that pops up on the little status bar here.
I'm not
So
ready yet.
right now it says, we got 3, 6, 9, 12. It's just gonna keep on ramping up, and it just keep on going to like 30, 40, maybe 50.
I'm not
So
ready yet.
the more you see that go up, the better. So that's there's that there. Let's see what else we have here. All right. So Icy Veil, what this does is just gives our barriers like more uptime. Um, and you can also take this off and put it somewhere else because our barriers are always going to have uptime anyways. I just threw it in here because it's just something, like I had like 3 free points. All right, then we're also going to take, of course, Inner Flames into Devouring Blaze for the added crit strike damage. Then we have Static Discharge. Again, this just gives our shock skills producing more crackling energy, and the crackling energy is really good for our Paragon nodes, um, for the glyph actually. So then we have permafrost as well. So this is why we want to make sure that things are freezing, because what this we just only want 1 point in here, but this right here, this is like kind of like important because we deal X amount of damage, multiplicative damage to chilled enemies, and 18% increased damage to frozen enemies. But it's just free damage. It's free. All right. And then we also want to go for unstable currents to prime unstable currents to give us 25% more attack speed. We don't care about this, because it's not, we don't really, no. All right, then we have coursing currents, so that we can get to electrocution. Basically, what this just means that enemies deal 18% less damage to us after they're being critically struck, and they're always being critically struck. So, which means that's 18%, less damage. That's 18% damage reduction. So damage reduction all over the place. And then we will take Veer's Mastery. Now you can take this, or you can also take Shatter. Shatter will be for like if you're doing like kind of like high pushing and whatnot. But this gives you like more damage reduction. Um, and this not only that, it gives you just more damage. It's like this is like the premier or the best in slot for your key passive. All right, so now.
This is a long video, Jesus.
All right, so now we're gonna go for the Paragon. Now, I have my Paragon board set up in a way that it just basically reflects.
Damage.
I have like very little resistances in it because most of my resistances are coming from my Tyro's Might. All right, so the first board, we have Flame Feeder so that we get more damage, like for just more damage basically. Um, and it gives you more, like the more you have in your dexterity, um, the more damage to burning that you'll have. So that which is very very nice. I could put more into like these, but again, the board itself, I needed a little bit more points for that. All right, so the second board here, we are using Burning Instinct, and the glyph that we have here is um, Tactician. Again, for more damage, so this is really, really good there. I don't know what kind of say, it's like very, very good. All right, then we got the third board. We are going for Enchantment Master. All right, and then the glyph we got is Elementalist. This again more damage, non-physical damage is solid, pretty solid. All right, then we have the fourth board. Let's see here. This we will take the legendary slot for that 60% multiplicative, like vulnerable, and so it's for any damage dealing sort. This is one like your the Frigid Fate board will look like this basically, and then you're gonna take um charged for this one. Now charged, this is the one the glyph I'm talking about when it comes to the crackling energy. Picking up crackling energy grants you 5% increased damage for 5 seconds, stacking up to 15%. So again, 15% multiplicative damage is you cannot ignore that again, and that's also its own damage bucket. So it's really really good there. All right, and then we have another board here. This board we're gonna take Elemental Summoner. This one gives you your conjuration skills, give you more bonuses when it comes to that, and we're Conjurer, of course. We're taking Conjurer for this one. This is like basically the Conjuring board. Um, it just gives you more duration. The more duration that they're out, the better. Like the longer that they're out, the better, which is pretty solid. Um, the other board here, we're going to take the Cecil Conduit. We're not going to take Legendary Node for that. We're just here for to put Destruction in. Destruction gives us again critical strike damage. You get almost 200 points, for this, and so every one of these things of dexterity gets you 19.8, all equaling up to almost 200%. And then the last board here we have um, Searing Heat. All right, and but we're gonna go for Exploit, which gives us more damage, more vulnerable damage. Now you see every last one of these notes that I have here, these glyphs, they're all damage. I used to have reinforce reinforcement on here, which gives me like a barrier of 15% damage reduction. But since I'm pretty tanky, I don't need that. Um, so there's that. That's basically the build. Paragons. Let's see here. Skills. I've again the showcase of this build. I mean, I guess I could take it into like a tormented boss. Show you what it can do against that. So I guess we could do that. Which one do we want to do? Let's do Duriel. Why not? So let's grab that and this. It's gonna be a 40-minute video. That's crazy. I guess I'm gonna go here. But yeah, like I said, like it melts like basically every content in the game. Nightmare, 100s. These bosses. What else? The hordes. Lilith. The reason why I don't want to fight Lilith right now. I mean, she's easy. Her health bar is like really. It's so easy. It's a joke. But we'll do a Duriel here, and we'll just go from there. Now I know this video was kind of like a little bit all over the place, a little bit, but it's basically like my first come on, my first type of video explaining things like that, and um my build is in Mobalytics, and it will be linked in the description.
I'm not ready yet.
I mean, just look at that,
Precious
just
time.
melt city. Didn't really have to do much at all. And that's a Tormented Duriel. All right, did I get a mythic? I did not. Everything sucks. All right. But yeah, there you have it. There's the build. There's the Paragons. There's the what gives it its damage. So again, um, you want the takeaways here. You want crit strike damage. You want that as maximum as possible. You want cooldown reduction as maximum as possible, especially on your lightning spears. If you're gonna go the route of no, if you don't have any mythics, just make sure you have the plus mana per second on your chest piece and your helmet, um, and just go from there. It's pretty good. Check out my build on Mobalytics. It just basically has everything that you need there, even some like the gameplay loop, how to play it, um, yeah, the whole nine there. So again, this build is the most powerful build in season 5 so far. It's gonna get a nerf in season 6, but I don't. I'm still gonna play it and see how deep it will be and whatnot. But we'll go from there. But if y'all enjoyed this guy here, this 40-minute long video, I'm sorry that y'all had to hear all of that. But if y'all enjoy, you just drop me a like, um, or subscribe and whatnot. And that helps you out a lot. And follow me on Twitch at dgreatx dot just d dot just dgreatx. And we'll hopefully just check me out. Y'all have yourselves a great and most fantabulous rest of the day or evening, and I will catch y'all later. Bye.